Boys, it is time for episode 3 of Shortside Wristlers. I am No Sleeves 12, and today we are going to discuss a few things. One, a potential fix or band-aid for the pause glitch issue on PlayStation, some new HUT content, general market tips, and a talk with one of the developers that I think you guys are going to find interesting. So let's get right into it. First, let's start with the big one, the potential fix for the pause glitch issue on PlayStation. If you don't know what it is, basically it is something that's going on right now where people are allowed to basically kick you out of a game without IP booting. Basically, the first intermission or pause, if they've done something in the background, the correct thing to do it in the background, you will end up getting a lost connection, and you'll get the loss. And it's brutal right now. It totally impacted HUT champs this weekend, but EA has done its best to remove all of the reported ones. There's still people doing it, but there was a potential fix that I've seen with about 70% success so far. I want to give credit where credit is due. At spin_maestro, at SPIN_MAESTRO. He's the one that I saw the tweet on Twitter. One of his buddies actually did this, and it worked 3 out of 3 times, and then I posted it on Reddit and on Twitter, and like I said, it was about 50-50. Let's go into the fix. So basically what you do is when you get the lost connection screen, you hit X, and the first thing that comes up is the coin screen. It shows you how many coins. It's going to show 0 if you were pause glitch booted. If you wait 3 to 5, sometimes 10 minutes, what'll happen is your opponent will leave the session, and sometimes it'll give you the win. It'll actually count the loss to the guy who quit, because he's the one that quit technically, and you won't suffer the loss. Now, it isn't 100%, like I said, but it is at least a chance to hopefully recover some losses that you're going to experience if you're playing comp seasons online. It's brutal right now, guys. So if you are playing HUT right now on PlayStation, just keep this in mind. Go take a leak. Go make a sandwich, have a coffee, something, and just try and see if you wait a little while and then hit X and go leave the session, leave the game, and see if it gives you the win. Now, because the pause glitch is involving a connection change setting, what I'd recommend, guys, is if it does work for you, just note down, and message me on Twitter or in the comment section down below. Just let me know, are you using Wi-Fi? Are you directly connected? I think that we're onto something here. I don't think it's 100%, but I think there's a commonality that we have in the people that it does work for, or the instances it does work, and I just want to find a fix to this because it's an absolute trash bag move. And it needs to be fixed, and unfortunately it is on Sony's end, it looks like. So EA can't fix it as fast as they want to. They need to figure out on the tech side what's going on with the console itself, and then see if we can't roll out a fix for it. So it does suck. I even got a report on Twitter that said someone in sixes had it happen to their 6-man team, and I'm like, anyways, let's move on to something else. So, because the podcast has actually done so well early on, one of the developers from EA in the Game Changer chat actually shot me a DM and wanted to discuss some things that I had mentioned prior in passing, just general things that the community thinks on a tech side from it. So this is some things that he had mentioned to me. And I thought that it'd be extremely beneficial for you guys to hear. So let's get right into it. One thing is in the tuner that I'd mentioned, the previous patch, where I said AI basically was reverted to rookie mode, or the rookie setting. That isn't true. The AI is still on All-Star, but what happens is they turn down actions against the puck carrier. So your AI defense doesn't really attack the puck carrier. That's why you're seeing people actually having to play your defense, because the AI just doesn't attack. Obviously, there's some incidental contact things. You'll lose the puck, or just positioning where they'll run into the AI and they'll lose the puck. But that is the big change. Basically, what's happened is they've removed it based on feedback from the community, and I do think that this was the correct change. It eliminates some of the skill zone issues, because you can't just sit there and not play your defense or your other players. You need to actually control the players that you're attacking the puck carrier with, because the AI just won't attack them, and that's how you have such a TOA demand with the elite players, because it's very difficult to knock them off the puck. And that's why. So it wasn't that they are now on rookie mode or rookie settings. They're on All-Star as far as positioning and everything goes and how they read the play. However, the AI just will not attack the puck carrier. It's been turned down to 0, so that way they don't take penalties and things like that as well. The next thing I had mentioned that the shovel shot, or hold the backhand, skate into the slot, so you're technically on your forehand and shoot short side. When they basically eliminated that kind of glitch from the game, that wasn't what opened up the short side wrister. What had actually happened is when the game launched, everyone kind of complained about rebounds, and that was the only way to score, and people were kind of trying to exploit it. The reason why goalies were stopping everything was because they were playing for the rebound. So to adjust for the rebound shot being so strong, they had to have their goalie come off the post a little bit, and that's what's happening here. And that's why he was sitting a little deeper in his net, and now he's just they're getting a little burned on the short side wrister, but that's why. It wasn't because of the backhand shot. So again, it's very interesting having this conversation, because you see from the tech side, I can get into a little bit more specifics. I don't want to give away the whole conversation. Again, I have an NDA with the Game Changer, so I can't give away everything, but I thought it'd be cool to kind of give you the insight. The amount of detail that the developer, at least the one I was talking to, goes into when it comes to any animation is crazy, and something that we don't think about. Something that when we aren't doing something correctly, we just assume the game's trash and broken, fix your game. But when the developer looks at a play, he can go frame by frame and explain why it's happening, and it's crazy to see some things, some clips that people complain about when it's really just thumb skill. Another topic I thought I would bring up when I was speaking with him today, the goalie myth. Now, everyone just assumes the bigger the goalie, the better the better the goaltender in NHL. Regardless of stats, it doesn't play to the stats. So I thought, hey, why not, while I have him, get a definite answer, because again, the detail that they take into actually tuning the game and things like that, it's crazy. So I asked, what's better? Why is the meta a giant goalie? And what was explained was someone who has a higher glove skill. Let's say someone has a higher glove hand. He will react to a glove hand save faster, and by faster I mean more frames, like quicker frames, less frames involved than someone with lower. But the perception is, because some goalies are bigger, it's just physics, and the goalie will actually miss a glove hand save, like a bigger, lower skilled one, but it'll just hit his shoulder, for example. Things like that. Or a desperation save. They react later, but because they're bigger, it'll incidentally hit them because they are bigger, and that's just physics and the amount of detail that's in the game. So all in all, I mean, it is a combo of both. So I'm going to take a look later on in some future videos about goaltenders and see if I can't find the perfect one, because there is one out there that is fantastic, that it is 100% a myth and placebo that whoever's the biggest is the best goaltender. The higher rated they are, the faster they react. Some people will play looser and just assume that you have one bad game against a great player and the goalie's trash. That isn't the case. But obviously a smaller goalie needs to be extremely skilled, extremely high rated to make up for the fact that he's not going to get any of that incidental saves that someone like Ben Bishop might, because he's just gigantic. One last topic on that. When the beta does come out, guys, I don't want everyone, I hope that everyone doesn't just complain. What I want everyone to do, and what the developers are desperately wanting you to do, is play 20 games. Play a bunch of games. Don't have someone else's opinion. The problem that happens in the NHL community is that a lot of the big time names will have a problem with the game, which is fine. Everyone can have a problem with the game. That's fine. But they'll say an opinion, and then the consensus just kind of believes it. Try out everything and let them know exactly what you think is worse or better. It's the only way that this is going to be adjusted, whether it's skating at the beta or whether you liked the goaltenders at launch being able to save more and play for the short side wrister more than the rebound. Let them know, or let me know on Twitter or any of the Game Changers, and so we can relay that to them. That information is crucial in the week or so that in January, where the beta tuner comes out. It's crucial to get that information, because it's the only way we're going to make the game better. Everyone complains that EA does nothing. They are now desperately trying something here based on community feedback. And the only way they're going to get it right is with feedback. So anyone who just goes, oh, game's trash, don't even know what you're doing, don't be an idiot. Honest to God, that does nothing. That does nothing. Like the game is not going to change if you just say blanket dumb statements, to be honest. So say if you don't like the game, explain why. And if you say skating isn't good, that doesn't mean anything. Like, why is skating not good, guys? Because when we have a problem, we bring it to the developer and we show a clip and the developer's like, well, he turns his body here and that's a thumb skill thing, and people just complain. Obviously, there are instances where the game does need it to be adjusted and things like that, and that's how tuners and patches are done. So, guys, just let us know. That's all I'm asking. Make sure you have your unbiased opinion when the beta comes out. It's very, very important time for NHL. Now, I am about to leave for Toronto to go to the Leafs eSports event, so this morning I got to keep things a little bit shorter, but a general market tip, something I wanted to go over because the Christmas one, just the holiday season just ended. When the next Master Set event comes out, guys, what I have found, because I've just spent a ton of money on the game, I've gotten a lot of packs, things like that, and I've had a top-tier team since launch. What I've done is I've just dropped like as many coins and stupid money on things the second the Master Set player is released, just because I want him. He's the best player. I have a very good team. I want to have the best players. And that's fine if you do that. But if you just wait it out, for the love of God, the first week and a half, collectibles are just dumb. If you wait until the end of the event, you can get them for almost half the price. If you take Thanksgiving Kane, for example, I made him for $650K. People were getting him for like $3 near the end of it. So same thing with like the Forsberg and Kucherov. Like, people aren't going to just keep these collectibles sitting for like the sunset. It's not going to be nearly as worth as them getting an extra $20K when, you know, it went for $40 at the launch of the event. So guys, just hold on to them. My next thing, go buy gold collectibles. I have no insider info, but gold collectibles have not been used for anything yet, really, other than, I believe, the Thanksgiving event there were some. But it's been a long time, and because legends are slowly becoming pointless to make because you can't sell the player back and recoup your money because there's prime times and milestones that are now better than those 88 like Iafrades, it's not very good to make them for $280K and then sell them for $100. It's going to take you forever to make Gretzky, and the longer the season goes on, the harder it's going to be to make Gretzky and Mario. Now is a great time to buy collectibles. I bought about $700K worth. I believe I got 55. I'm just going to hold them. There's no cards that have come out recently. The All-Star event, there might be some, but there's no cards that have come out recently that I'm all about. So I've just decided to spend all my coins on gold collectibles and just sit and wait. I got them for about $15K. If you can get any for under 16, I would do that, and then just wait. Eventually, an event is going to come out where it's going to require gold collectible, and you can sell them for $22K, because like I said, guys, the more and more sets that are done for the Sakic, eventually there's just gold collectibles aren't going to be as made as often, and they're just not as valuable right now, all because it's pointless to make the legend cards without spending money, because you're just not going to recoup your coins. And I just briefly want to talk on the new HUT content that came out, because all the primetime and milestones from the prior 2 weeks were thrown into one because of the holidays and whatnot. So just over the primetimes real quick, the high-end ones are the 90 overall Gaudreau and the 91 Taylor Hall. They're good cards. They have end-game speed and decent shot. So if you can pack them or get them, for less than what some of the other 90s are, that's definitely worth it. As far as the lower ones, the lower-rated ones, an 88 Patrick Kane, it's just tough because there's a better Patrick Kane out there. Sean Monahan has 91 speed, which isn't bad. John Tavares is an 89 with 91 speed and 89 shot. That's okay. And then the 89 Kucherov. And then the 93 Milestone Crosby. It does have burner, great speed, and a good shot. I would use him on defense, to be honest with you, just because I feel like there's better forwards. Brent Burns got a 90. He's just slow. I love Brent Burns as a Sharks fan, but he's just a slower card, and his shot is okay. I would just rather have a forward on defense. That's my opinion, and it's just something that's come across as the season's gone on. I would just rather have a defenseman there. As far as the lower-rated milestone cards that you might want to look at, Wayne Simmons is 90 speed. That's okay. Patrick Marleau's a 91 skater, 84 overall. You might be able to get him pretty cheap. I would avoid the Victor Hedman. He's just not a good card to go after. It's better having a forward. He has 79 shot. 87 Joe Thornton. He's great. Man, he has so many milestones this season, and it's not stopping, that he low-key might be like a 94 or something by the end of the season, which is kind of cool because I love Jumbo Joe. But yeah, so as far as the new content goes, it's nothing really exciting. I was hoping that maybe the Taylor Hall primetime would carry over so I can get rid of my 91 Evo Taylor Hall, but alas, that wasn't the case. And lastly today, like I said, I'm about to leave for the Leafs event. However, let's have some fun. So on Twitter, I wanted to post a little fun poll for you guys. The Leafs event is tomorrow. Who's most likely to get on the Jumbotron, shirt off, 11 beers deep by 4 p.m.? The 4 choices were Rahanic, Mibians, myself, or Bones on Demand. 372 votes. This was hilarious. 46% of you mutts said Mivians, 27% said Rahanic, 16% said Bones, and 11% said me. I think it's going to be a hilarious event. Follow me on Twitter. I'm going to have a bunch of Instagram stuff. I might try and get a bunch of interviews with the the top-end guys that will be there. Not Rahanic. He's not top-end. Just kidding, buddy. I love you. For tomorrow's podcast. So watch out for that. But in real talk, Gren and Padre are going to play for a ton of cash, and I have no idea. To be honest, I low-key want Padre to win just because he's old like me, and it's kind of hilarious to see someone take out 17-year-old Gren, who's a prodigy and going to be around for the next 10 years in NHL. But the other side of me thinks that he might win. Either way, it's going to be a great couple games, and I can't wait to see all the heckling that's going to take place from the boys that are in there. I also want to give one final shout-out to the Leafs insiders that have done a great job promoting the event, from TDI and the Oway Johnny. You guys have done a fantastic job, and then obviously Bones, who worked with World Gaming to put this whole thing together. You guys did a great job, and I can't wait to see you guys today. So that does it for today's podcast, guys. Again, I would love it if you would like the video, retweet it, please. I would appreciate it a ton if you just hit me with a retweet if you found it on Twitter. If you're watching the YouTube one, just like it. That's all I ask. Leave a comment. Leave me some questions that you'd want answered, and maybe I can see. Especially maybe ask me some questions that you'd want me to ask the biggies tomorrow, or tonight. So I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Thank you for listening.